Good evening, everybody. Welcome to simracing Bible. I hope you're doing well. It's Saturday evening, and we're back ready for another live stream. And I'm looking forward to this a little bit. Now, it's been a while, but we're back. We're back in iRacing. This has been a long time coming, actually. I've not really done much with it in the past, in terms of on the channel. I used to run iRacing an awful lot back in the day, and it's been a while since I've run anything on iRacing. So we're back in iRacing this evening. We're going to test out some of the new cars which have been released in the Season 2 series for 2023. So there's two road cars which I'm going to test this evening. First of all, we're going to be on the new Ray FF1600, basically a Formula Ford. And then we're going to jump into some Clio action as well. So yeah, let's jump into it. Exciting times. Let's go see what these new cars are like. So we'll get into the game here now. I'll get myself over here as well. All right. So this is it, our first beast for the evening. We have this, the Formula Ford 1600 in our SRB livery, of course, with Asetek on the side, looking very smart indeed. And it's a cool looking car, this one. Very traditional looking Formula Ford shape, really. It's quite similar to a Van Diemen in a way. But it's quite a nice looking thing, obviously exposed on the rear end there with the gearbox, etc. But it looks really, really cool. It's got the standard Formula Ford treaded tyres on it, and yeah, obviously 1600 engine. So we're going to jump into this and we're going to do some races with it. So it's week 13 in iRacing at the moment, so no official road races going on. There may be a couple of MX5 official races, but these are just going to be completely unofficial and just for fun, basically. So let's jump in and see what we can do. So first of all, we're going to take this on track and kind of talk you through what it's like to drive and go from there. So let's go find a session to jump into. And there's two ways we're going to be able to race this evening. We have the Formula Fun, which is purely the Formula 1600 cars on their own. But they also have a Battle of the Little Wings, which includes the Skip Barber and the Formula V as well. So we might do a bit of multi-class single-seater action this evening, which could be fun. But we'll start off with just the Formula Ford by itself. So let's go find a practice session to jump into here. Let's find one with some people in to see how slow we're really going to be. So let's jump in this one here and get into it. So yeah, welcome guys. Good to see you here this evening. We've got Personics on. Hi, he says. Let's just join in here when that's ready to go, hopefully. Is you registering? If not, we'll have to find another one. There it is. Right, we can join now. Even Sam says, evening Paul / Phil. My bad. No worries. I must look like a Paul. It's fine. So, Formula Ford 1600s then. Today, because they change the tracks every day, today they're running at the Silverstone National Circuit. So, not many corners to deal with, but there's a mixture of fast and slow speed corners, and it's pretty flat. So, no elevation changes to worry about here. But when we hopefully jump into the Battle of the Little Wings with the other cars, that's running Alton Park International, which adds some elevation in as well. So, definitely need to give that a go. Hey Steve. Steve says, how do you get your name on the car? Is it in the paint shop? I wish it was in the paint shop. But no, I create my own personal liveries on Photoshop with the templates and then save them in the right way so they appear in-game. So yeah, that's how it's done. Maybe we'll do a livery creation stream one evening and you can see how it all works. Hey Nick, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. What will probably be the theme of the evening, besides the racing, is the amount of time we spend loading into sessions, because for whatever reason, iRacing just takes absolutely ages to load in on my PC anyway. So there'll be plenty of time to mull things over as we prepare ourselves and review the previous action. So all the races this evening are going to be 15 minutes, so just a very short sprint race, really, just to kind of get used to the car a little bit and have a bit of fun on track, and then just keep rolling over and jumping into the next one. So as they're unofficial, I am fully expecting them to be a little bit more chaotic than normal, because no one's going to be too worried about their safety rating or iRating and things if they do go wrong. So there could be some shenanigans happening this evening, so we'll keep our eyes peeled and try and keep it on track. Hopefully we won't be the cause of said shenanigans and ruin anyone else's race. We'll try and keep it nice and clean, obviously. There we go, 90% loaded. We'll be into these sessions shortly. So we're just going to do a few laps to kind of get used to the car and talk you through what it's like to drive, and then we'll come out and we'll find a race session to join and then see how we go from there. Oh, it's a bit chilly this evening. We've had quite a lot of snow here where we are, so temperatures are down. I'm expecting some racing to try and pick up the pick up the temperature of this evening a little bit. So here we go. We are into the game. What are we running here in terms of setup wise? Can we change things? We can. Okay. Stick Silverstone National setup on there and see how that goes. Okay. Right. First of all, got ourselves loaded in here. Quick look at the dashboard and everything around you. So obviously quite nice detail in here. You can see the Zeus fasteners holding the bodywork on, which is pretty cool. Because I got the steering wheel off, you can just see at the bottom of the screen there the column moving on the splines on the bottom of the screen there. But you've got a battery cut off on the right hand side there. Nice aim dash in the middle. All right, let's load it up. This is obviously 8-pattern gearbox rather than sequential, and only 4 gears. So let's go out on track.
A few clean laps to get our fuel numbers.
Thanks, spotter. All right, let's see how we get on here. Turn that up on my headset a little bit because it's quite a quiet car. Again, just nice and easy, no mad stuff to be dealing with straight away. We're coming out of the pits. We have got cold tyres to worry about. Down into the Beckett's hairpin, and then down to the Wellington straight. So Frank says, I deny the existence of this title altogether. Not a fan of iRacing then, Frank, no? Alright, down to Brooklyn's 3rd gear maybe. I'll leave it in 3rd gear for this outlap just to get us through here safely, and then we'll pick up pace as we go. Into Luffield. This is going to be 2nd. Long old corner on the power, and away we go. Steve says, been on today, it was chaos. Excellent. We have good things coming our way, the mother sounds of things, Steve. Thanks for the heads up. I shall be extra careful. Right, up to Copse corner, super quick corner. Dab of brakes. Let's feed this in here. Now, Formula Fords create really good racing in club level racing. They've been really, obviously, quite close together. There's no wings or anything like that to create dirty air, so you can follow pretty closely to other cars. But also, they tend to move around a little bit. They're not glued to the road because they haven't got full slicks. And there's, you know, enough grip, but not enough to be interesting. Let's take it down to 2nd. Yeah, let's do that. All over that curve on the inside. Actually get on the power quite early with this car. Evening, guys. Good to see you. Sonics here says, never been a fan of iRacing. Another one. Oops, wasn't paying attention. Neither was that guy ahead of us by the looks of things. That's an off track. So, Sonic's never been a fan of iRacing because pay for content and pay for a sub. Yeah. The pricing model does polarize the sim racing community a little bit, but then similar things are happening, I suppose, in other titles where you pay for content. But yeah, there isn't the subscription there underneath it as well, so I can see where it comes from. Mesh is a big fan of iRacing, are you guys? Right. Well, reading up about the car, I have driven it a little bit as well, but reading up about it, people have been saying that trail braking is not really its favourite thing to do, so we'll see. I'll see if we can tame this beast.
Got good fuel fuel data.
Excellent. It's good to know. That's too wide again. Too much speed through cops. Need to iron those out before we get into the race. Don't want to be picking up loads of off tracks. Oops, someone's had a moment on the exits. I'll use his slipstream slightly before we blow past him like that. So Frank says, I'm just here to watch Phil do his controlled madness. Yeah. This time with other people on track. Yeah, you can really get on the power nice and early there. We're almost half a second up on our quickest lap so far. Things are starting to pick up, although we are still only 26th quickest in the session, so plenty of work to be done. But then, I dare say, Cops hasn't been brilliant just yet. We're better through there, a bit of a run. 2/10 up. On the brakes hard into here. Oops. Turns in really well. It does have a lot of front end grip, this car. It kind of caught me out there a little bit because I was trying to get in early. Ended up getting in too early, so I need to be aware of that. It's a little better into there. Broke a bit later. On power, it's in a bit of understeer going on there. But this is again another improvement. Going to be jumping up the leaderboard perhaps a little bit more. Oops. Didn't like that. Well, we didn't make any difference on the timings though, still in 14th, but let's have a look at it from the outside here, which are going around. So it's a little bit skittish at times. So if you try and throw it into a corner, it doesn't necessarily like it too much. And the high speed stuff is a bit tricky. Just put it back a couple of laps and just watch one of the quicker ones here. Plenty of apex on the inside there. I mean, it's it's Formula Ford. It's again, single seaters is not really my thing, but I found this one is actually quite enjoyable to drive. Kind of similar to what we found with the Formula Inter on AMS2 last week. Yeah, okay. Some work to do. Why don't we say, let's get ourselves just, seeing as it doesn't really matter anyway, let's just come out of here a moment and we'll sign ourselves up for a race. And it'll chuck us in the practice session beforehand anyway if there's still one going, but let's go find a race and see how we get on. Because it's obviously the way you practice and prepare to go into a race is by just doing 3 laps, chuck it off, and then, yeah, all good. All right, let's go find... Not schedule, sessions is what I want. All right, 3 races, so when's the next one? It's going to be 8:30, so let's register for that. 60 people have registered already. And we're now making it 61. So we'll do that, and then it'll allow us to join a practice session beforehand. So we still get, by the time we load in, about 10 minutes worth of practice. So time to iron out those little slidey moments. Let's see if we can do that. Right. I'm not quite sure how you say that username, but welcome. I think is it Tanksy? Tanksy? Have you tried Hareth? I have. It says, if so, how do you compare it to the one in AMS2? I've not driven the one in AMS2 that much, actually, but from what I have driven, they do feel pretty good. I think what I've noticed, obviously there's the natural colouring of both, which is very different. So AMS2 tends to be perhaps a little bit more saturated in terms of its colours compared to iRacing, which iRacing can look quite natural with its slightly desaturated look to it. But I think the actual layout of it as well feels pretty similar. It feels pretty good. I'll have to revisit the one on AMS2 just to see how it compares now. I've had time on the one on iRacing as well. Obviously we know iRacing's tracks are next level accurate with the laser scan data, so interesting to see what they're like in comparison. But yeah, I like the track. I think it's really good. I've only driven the Grand Prix circuit of Jerez, which is the one with the really awkward chicane towards the end of the lap. But obviously on both here and AMS2, we have the older version, which you can kind of really fly past, and you basically just bypass that section altogether and just have these really fast right-hand corners before you come up to the final hairpin. So yeah, obviously that version is available in iRacing as well, but I haven't driven it on this particular sim. But no, it's good. I like it. Oh, good. I'm glad I got the name right. It's always good to know. Hey, Samuel. Hello. It's been a while since I catch a stream. Fun to see you're playing my preferred sim today. Oh, okay. This is your sim of choice, Samuel. Well, Gareth and yourself are fans of iRacing. Yeah, I like iRacing as well. I don't play it often, nowhere near as often as I once did. I think I must have burnt out on it a while ago, and then just explored other things which I wanted to do, but never really had a chance to because I was doing iRacing constantly. So, but it's good. It's good to be back in iRacing again and checking out some new cars. And I really have actually quite enjoyed the new build. So we'll see how they race. I've driven them on track on my own. It's very different, obviously, when you're racing them. So we'll see. But here we go. Up to 75 registered for the race now. So. Whew, okay, let's go out on track then. Shake off those nerves. All right. I feel I'll get the bug back one day. One day, we'll see. But I like being varied in what I drive. I like having variety, things of different types and styles and driving experiences and things. So, right, again, need to warm some tyres up here, so just take it nice and easy out of the pit lane. I'm not sure actually if this is this will probably be standing start actually. It's very ominous smoke on the middle of the Wellington Straight there, and then no cars there, so it's either a ghost or someone had slammed on the anchors and come to a complete stop and disappeared. Back to the pits. It's quite cool actually. You catch that curb on the inside, you just hear the transmission just kind of chatter away. So Tank says, sounds good. Trying to decide whether or not to pick it up, waiting to see how... Hang on, let's get through cops. So it says just waiting to see how much it is used in IMSA, ESS and VRS. Yeah, I haven't seen the schedules yet for the new season, but I'm sure it'll be in there somewhere. It's got to be, it's new. They're like throwing in the new circuits on the schedule at some point or another. Ooh, someone else having maybe the same issue earlier on. Who spins in the middle of a straight? I don't quite understand that. Okay. Oops, a bit deep into the late apex, we'll call that. Alright. So Samuel says, yeah, this little car is amazing. It is fun. It's free as well, this one. Which is really good. So it's available for everybody. Missed. I'm not sure whether it's leaving in fourth or down to third for cops. We'll play with that a little bit more and see what we can work out. Oops, someone's going the international route rather than the national hairpin. Got a little bit caught out there. So Tank says, by chance, do you know how to get Fanatec V3 pedals working on AMS2? I have them connected via USB and it's the only gun that won't detect. Oh, okay. I had them working before I had the Acertex. Oh goodness me, it's all going off. It's only practice, boys. Steady on. That's weird, because I had mine connected via USB as well, so trying to remember what I did specifically to try and get that going. I'm not 100% sure, actually, to be honest.
Got a slow car on the left.
I think I just added the assignments on the keybind, on the detecting pedals and things, and then calibrated them from there. I don't think I had any issues with setting them up. Strange they won't detect, though. Evening, Funky. It says, Eden, Phil, and chat. Good luck on first race, thanks. It's been a while. Back end's rotating on me there into that corner. Almost need a little bit of rotation just to kind of get the car through, and then you could feel it through Luffield then. Just had a bit of rear rotation and then kind of opened up the exit a little bit better. So, yeah. It's definitely need to slow it down more than that. And then you kind of bog down and forth, so I don't know. In between at the moment. Oh, there's more chaos.
Got a slow car
Guess that's
on
what
the
practice is for, huh? Good thing about Silverstone National is it's very short and you have plenty of opportunities to practice. Is he reading chat? The other thing with these Formula Fords is they are quite wide. The wheels stick out a long way. You need to be aware of that when in wheel-to-wheel combat with someone else. You can just about see the inside of the front tyres in my monitor here, but can't see the outside, so I'll see. Alright. Go down to third. Yeah, that's better. I'll come back on. Whew. Lap time's tumbling. What we'd like to see. So yeah, that's a good shout as well. Personic actually try a different USB port, maybe, just in case. It's worth a go. Corner just never ends. There we go, a good 6/10 up on this lap, so that should be a better lap coming our way. There we go. 101.8 jumps us up to 8th position. Yeah, that was just me not turning in early enough. So Tanksy says, okay, keep trying some things out. I've got dinner to eat, thought I'd come ask.
Go left.
As you're my go-to on AMS2 content. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Sorry I couldn't give you more of a definitive answer. But yeah, I don't ever remember having any major issues setting them up. That's a good tip, that, Steve. Steve says, see if you can get Paul to miss all the carnage. That's a very good plan. I'll do my best, but some quick guys out here, so I don't think I will. But luckily, it doesn't really matter anyway. So, we'll see. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people out here still racing like it matters. One of the things with iRacing, it's super serious. Okay, can't be here to have fun. This is all about serious racing. It's better. Got a run as well. See if we can grab this guy slipstream ahead of us. Down the Wellington Straight would be nice. It's a wide run. Yeah, off track as well. Come here. Give me your slipstream. Yeah, it's not the 50 board. It's not the 50 board at all. Right. Let's go back to the garage a second. So this is obviously open setup, so there's no fixed setup racing going on here. So let's see then, what do we need to do? There's quite a few things you can actually change on here, so excuse me, I got hiccups. Right, so you can change push rod offset, ARBs obviously, damper stiffness, brake pressure, screen color. Nice. Oh, you can change the screen color based on the aim dash there. So yeah, then spring rates, camber, toe in, fuel levels, of course. Now the thing with the new season, not that it's going to matter in the races we're doing this evening, is we have auto fuel, so that means that it will calculate how much you need either for the end of the race or just fill you up if you're not going to make it home on the full tank of fuel. So that's a nice little additional feature for those who do some slightly longer races which require a pit stop. So yeah, it's good to have. I know a lot of people use things like JRT and Crew Chief to do their fuel calculations for them, and they've been around for a while and they work quite well. Yeah, it's good to have that as an option inbuilt into the software as well. So, all right. We won't bother too much with that because I think if I start messing around with that, then I could be in a bit of a mess and then be all over the place when it comes to a race. So, not quite sure how long we have left to the actual start of the session, so we'll just go out again and try some more. Samuel says, I'm someone that does take it too serious sometimes. That's a moment where I'm closing the sim or I play Fortnite or something. Yeah, see, I think we've all been there at some point or another. It can easily just drag you into being just taking it way too seriously, and I guess it's a good thing in a way because it helps with making sure that people try and behave on track a little bit and actually take it seriously rather than just being like just crashing into people for no reason. But on the flip side of that, it can become a little bit heated if some minor incident occurs on track and someone's massively annoyed by the outcome of said incident. Swings and roundabouts, I suppose. Old tyres. Thing moves around a little bit. Oh, there's Oscar Hardwick in front of us. Didn't even realise. Or we'll latch onto him, he's quick. Raced against Oscar in the Race Department's Touring Car Championship back in the day, running V8s. That was in Game Stock Car. Gareth will remember Oscar, I'm sure. Oscar's running the wide line too. So we'll see the strategy. But it's good. I think a lot of people tend to get quite hung up on the fact that when you're in iRacing, you need to be running like top level cars such as GT3s, prototypes, you name it. And if you're not running those cars, then it's not worth it. That's everyone's kind of rushes through the lower level stuff to get to the good stuff, which can be a shame because there are some really good lower class cars which are worth spending a bit more time in and actually enjoying. And I think this is going to become one of those cars where you can actually drive it and have a good experience driving and racing these things. And you've got company behind as well here. Okay, session has started as the guy spins out behind us, so we'll pull over to the left-hand side out of everybody's way, and let's go join the session. Right, race time, everybody. What can possibly go wrong? We'll be all good. You do remember, yeah, I thought you would. Yeah, no, he was always right up the front. And it looks like it's more of the same here. So Sam says exactly, the moment I let a race result or incident affect my mood, I know it's time to do something else and wind down. Yep, absolutely. It's good to take it seriously in a way, so that means you get the most out of it in terms of your performance, but if that starts affecting you mentally, then yeah, it's a bit detrimental in that regard. Thanks, guys. Good luck indeed. I will need it because I'm not feeling overly prepared for this particular event. But 15 minutes of racing here at Silverstone in a Formula Ford could be fun. I'm hoping the racing is going to be good because that's kind of the main draw card for people who follow Formula Ford in real life, is because the racing is usually really tight and close. But also, in a sim environment, there's a very real chance that someone could just send it down the inside, and yeah, it could be over very quickly. But it also could be all right. So we'll reserve judgment until we're in there and we're racing. So just need to relax. Just need to calm down. I don't know what it is about iRacing, even if it's not official and it's not affecting my iRating or my safety rating. The nerves are still there. I don't get nervous when we do community races on AOS2. I don't even get nervous that much when we do ranked races on Race Room. But for whatever reason, right now my chest is really tight. It'll be fine. We're all good. And breathe. Right, so we have 3 minutes of practice, obviously usual, and then 8 minutes or 2 laps for qualifying. So let's go to qualifying, and we'll take out some fuel because we're going to be needing all the weight saving we can get. Because this is a very light little car. 5 litres might be enough, maybe. Maybe. Let's see how much it actually gives us. This course is still just a 3-minute practice while everyone loads in. So I have an iRating of, I think it's about 3.9. Used to be over 4, did a couple of events and then it dropped back down again. So I suspect we could be in a reasonably quick split here, because we're definitely not getting 75 plus cars on this particular track. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what car are we. Let's have a look. Entries. Well, car 20. That's the number I've selected, but could be a little bit further down the order. But let's see what happens when everything shakes out here. Let's go to qualify. And here we go. Let's get a decent lap in here. So starting from pit lane, of course. Let's get some heat in the tyres on the out lap, and then we have 2 opportunities to get ourselves a lap time on the board. So do a little bit of weaving. Not much time to warm up the tyres on this particular circuit because of it being such a short lap. I suspect the second flying lap is going to be our best one, so we'll get a banker lap in first, something on the board, and then we'll push a little bit more for lap 2. Okay, here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag indeed.
Here comes your timed lap.
Thank you for reminding me. Right. So the key for these banker laps is to keep it inboard and not run over the track limits and get a 1x, because that'll just completely remove that lap altogether. That's not a good banker lap. Too aggressive on the brakes. You still get nervous before a race as well, guys. Yeah. Don't know what it is. I mean, I guess it's simulating, I suppose, in one way or another. That was one scruffy first lap. Hopefully the second one's better. Yeah, this one's not going to be amazing. That's for sure.
One more lap.
What it does mean, though, is we have room for improvement. Yeah, I think slightly slower through cops that time. Or coppice? No, cops. Right, don't lock up. Still not a great corner, but we got through it better than last time, that's the main thing. Somehow we're actually showing in 7th place, not quite sure how that's the case,
You got about
so this
5 laps
must
of fuel
improve.
left.
That's an off track. So there we go, we're staying in that particular lap time. Too much cut on the inside of Brooklands, and that's game over. Never mind, we'll start where we start, and if we have to battle our way through, that's what we'll do. It's cool. The pit lane warning light siren goes on.
Pit box in 10.
A very brave, or wise thing to do, considering I'm about to head in.
There's the checker flag. 5, 3,
Yep.
2, 1. Right here.
Thanks. Right, okay. Not the most successful qualifying session, if I'm being completely honest. So, yeah, we're dead last. I'm not surprised. Oh, we've got Oscar in here. Okay, we're in trouble. But he's not even the quickest. We've got Josh McCall out in front as well. Oh well, work to do. The good thing is, if we're going to be at the back, we can watch it all unfold in front of us, and then we can pick up some pieces. So we'll see. Now we just wait out the remaining 3 minutes 37 to go of the session. So what do I think of this car then? So I've driven obviously a few of the other single-seaters in iRacing. So the Skip Barber, the Formula V. Personally, I really like the Formula Ford. I think it's a really fun little car, and it's a nice car to drive. I'm making it look a lot harder than perhaps it is. But it is really fun. It's got a nice feel on the road, and you can really kind of feel it through the corners. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's a bit lackluster around this particular circuit. The circuit's probably not doing the most for it. But when I was driving early in the week at Alton Park, it was really good. So looking forward to doing that. We'll do that next. After we've done this race, we'll try and see if we can sign up to the multi-class single-seater race and do a race around Alton Park, because I think that could be a lot of fun. Samuel says, time to see the carnage unfold in front of you. Absolutely dead right. That is exactly what we're going to be doing in this one. Although that might not be the case, because some people are not putting a lap time in. Probably just saying the same thing. We'll just not set a lap time, and everyone else can go off and sort it out. So we could end up being more mid-grid here, which could be interesting. Hey, makes for some more entertaining racing, I think. I'm in the midst of it all. You get to see what happens when you put a pack of Formula Fords together on iRacing and throw them at the first corner. We'll see. Let's put some fuel back in, shall we? Because I don't fancy being caught short. So let's... what should we put in here? It was on... So it was, I don't know how many laps it said it was giving me for 5 litres, but it's on 16 litres before. I'll put it in there, and if we're overweight on fuel, we're overweight, just how it is. So it's just all about fun this evening, so should be good. So everyone's pretty much finished by the looks of things. It came with a message saying that's going to end qualifying due to inactivity, so no one's on track obviously at the moment. Be interesting to do this around Grand Prix circuit, actually. That'd be quite fun. Tow truck on standby. Yeah. So Frank says, I'm casually bashing iPaying Funky. Yeah, I enjoy watching Phil rip it up on track. I'd enjoy it more if I'd actually make out what was going on instead of looking at Nintendo 84 graphics. Oh, that's all coming out this evening. I mean, it doesn't look the prettiest on my machine. I'll be honest. It's not looking to the same level as some others, but I think with a more modern graphics card, it wouldn't look quite as dated as perhaps it does here. But it's, yeah. We play Live for Speed, and it's bad, isn't it? It kind of looked quite similar. But, you know, graphics isn't all about everything, I suppose. It's about driving experience and things, but it would be nice if it looked even better, but for the frames I'm getting now on my really old PC, it makes it accessible for everyone, so it's good in that way. It allows more people to drive and use it, rather than just being the absolute elite who can afford really expensive PCs. Right, here we go then. Time to grid up and dial the iRacing. Or other breakdown assistance companies which may be available. So we're starting P12 here. We have a few cars behind us. We're on the inside for turn 1, which might help. Okay, let's goals for this particular race then. Goal number 1 has to be survive. Has to be. Goal number 2 is to make a position. So we're in P12, so I need to make up at least 1 position, and I'll consider that a success for our first race on iRacing for quite some time. So let's see. If we can do that, we'll be pleased. If we can't do that, we'll be retiring beforehand because we'll probably be taken out somewhere, but be positive. Let's see what happens here. I never quite know when we're about to go racing here. Everyone's sat casually on the grid. Some less casually than others, revving their engines. Let's see if we get a indication of when it actually goes. Because normally I'm used to iRacing when you're in GT3 and you have a rolling start, so everyone just kind of starts casually moving forward. But here, I kind of got my eyes fixated on the lights. Oh, here we go. Right. Let's see if we can get a decent start in the Formula 4 then. First race of the evening.
Green, green, green.
Nope. Everyone else had a pretty poor start too, so I don't feel quite so bad. Nice and easy to turn 1.
Still left.
Okay. Oh, I was just about to say relatively calm, but I did see a car rolling in the rearview mirrors then, so
To the right.
probably not quite so well behaved.
Middle, 3 wide.
Someone was dive bombing me from
Left side,
behind.
2 wide.
We survived.
Stay on the right. You're on the right. 3 wide. Left side, 2 wide. Hold your line. You're on the right. 3 wide. Left side, 2
3
wide.
wide. That's what you want to hear from the spotter.
Still left.
Don't pull over on me. I haven't got much room.
Hold it right there.
Sensibly let them have some space there.
Left side, 2 wide.
Oops.
Hold your line. Stay on the right.
Need some room on the outside because there's a car there.
Stay on the right. Clear.
Thankfully, he must have had a spotter on. Because that was quite the chop. Alright, come on then.
Left side.
There's some
Clear
death.
on the left.
I completely missed the corner as well, but thankfully it wasn't quite as catastrophic as the guy ahead. Oh, I'm being attacked here. Defend the inside.
Hold your line. Clear. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Okay, come on, Phil. Let's get into a rhythm here. Being attacked.
Left side.
Okay, he's obviously got to run. I'm not going to defend that too hard.
Stay on the right. Clear. Car on
Getting
the
back
right.
though.
Clear.
Good little exchange. Ooh, got someone heading to the pit lane by the looks of things. I've got one right on my gearbox.
Left side. Stay on the right.
I'm going to stay mid-track here.
Keep to the right. You're in the middle. 3 wide. Be careful. You're in the top 10. Good job. Clear on the left. Left
Okay, well,
side.
top 10 sounds like a good movement forward. It's 2 spots gained. We have some work to do to get ahead of the next guys up the way here. Let's see if we can pull them back in. Trying to shake the guys behind as well, to be honest. We're giving some serious pressure at the moment. The slipstream battles are real. Here he comes. Let him go.
Hold your line. Clear.
Ooh, that's some serious crashing action in front. That's brought them back closer towards us a little bit. Ooh, go on the inside.
You're in the middle, 3 wide, be careful. Clear on the left, 2 wide. Still there.
Well, I did suspect there would be some death, and there's certainly been some of that.
Clear on the right.
Slide through, why don't you? Yep.
Left
Speaking of
side.
sliding,
Clear.
it's pretty frantic. 15 minutes of survival in the Formula Ford.
Go left.
Another one gone. Okay. Alright, I think things are settling down a little bit now. Maybe. So-
Got a slow car on the left. Car stopped on the left.
Had to take the 1x there,
They say you couldn't call.
and now we have a slowdown. Brilliant. I'll just take that casually on the inside here, not getting anyone's way.
Car on the right. Keep to the left. Clear on the right.
Clear. Okay, we're up and running again. Definitely better than ploughing into the side of that guy. So just catching up a little bit here. So Danny Taylor's, we're here. Welcome, Danny. Says goal 3 death inside 2 laps. We were still running, so it's got to be a positive, right? some scary things going on here, isn't there? But we're still alive, and that's the main thing. Okay, let's try and get into some kind of rhythm here, because at the moment there's nothing. It's literally just surviving corner to corner, so let's try and see if we can get into something here. Well, the slightly tighter line might work a bit better around there, possibly. So now we're 1.4 seconds to the guy ahead. We're in P8 now. Made up 4 spots, despite going backwards a couple of times. But definitely not extracting the most out of this car at the moment, I will be honest. It's not feeling comfortable. Ooh, smoke. Come on, Phil, the line into there is awful. I'm so scared I'm not going to get it turned in. So I'm just taking it really tight, but... oh well. Alright. There's that 1x again. Just stay away from that inside curb. Looks like skid pan training, says Pasonic. Yeah. People are getting a lot of practice in. Yeah, we're suddenly dropping back. So quick through there, isn't it?
Got a slow car on the left. Go right.
That's better. A bit later turn in. That's what we needed. Seven minutes remaining. It's a little bit better through there. We're 2.6 away from the guy ahead, who is having a little bit of a battle, so maybe, just maybe, they might slow themselves up enough to allow my slow car to catch up with them. Maybe we are overweighted on fuel. Very poor excuse, but sticking to it. We've got a bit of a train going up front there, actually. We've got a few cars in a line which are all using the slipstream, so that's probably not helping our cause either. We have no draft whatsoever. They are going side by side. It's a little bit slidey through Brooklands. Well, there's a position change in front of us. But I think it's only because there's one of them actually a lap down, so it's not actually a proper position change. Ooh, more death. Need to be aware of that on the exit here. Thankfully he's out of the way. That's one more spot for us. Right. Use all the road on the exit there. Try and carry more speed through there. Okay. Still under 3 seconds to the guys ahead, but a long way off. Someone has called us up in a massively high rate of knots. It's so much quicker than we are. Wow.
Stay on the left. Clear.
Yeah, switch back on the outside there. It's kind of pointless really fighting that because he is so much quicker than we are. We're going to do it anyway.
Stay on the right. Clear on the left.
Somehow we're going back.
Left side.
Look at the difference in the straight line.
Left. Stay on the right. Still left. To the right. Clear.
Well, some good battles going on, even if we are a little bit further down the order. Right, let's use the slipstream now. Let's work together and see if we can get up with them. It's always easy when you've got someone to follow. Kind of gauge yourself off them. See if we can pull ourselves both up to the back of these other guys ahead of us here. Hopefully the guy ahead doesn't defend too hard, and then we can just kind of keep running the good lines and try and get some speed going. Yeah, definitely off Luffield. I'm not as quick. Come on, slipstream, help me out. Also not as committed through cops. There's another one gone. Although that was the lap car, so no gains for us. It is fun, isn't it, actually, Samuel? I'm enjoying it. Good tussles. Over 8th. Got a little wobble mid-corner then. So did he, though. Let's see if we can keep him in our sights here. Because by now, of course, people have been running this since the day of the Season 2 release, so they've got a pretty good handle on the car, maybe done some setup adjustments themselves, so we're running the iRacing setups, which probably aren't optimal, but will give you something at least. Oh, some more smoke ahead. Car's stopped.
Sitting now. Car stopped on the left. Go right.
That's the second place guy who was stopped in the middle of the road. Oh, Josh McCall. Another spot. We are hauling them in again. I should not say things like that, but we're still in 8th. There's the curse, everybody. It's happened.
White flag. One more lap to go.
We were so close as well. Oh man. Oh well. One more to go. Danny says you're not using enough tear-offs, you're weighing it down. Ah, that's what it is. I don't think I've got it mapped. Now, I'm just trying to think in my own mind there. Did I usually go down to second for Brooklands? I don't think I did. But I went down to second that time. Maybe it was just too much. I don't quite know what happened there. No, maybe I do. Just took in a bit too much speed, probably. Anyway, I'm going to come home in P7, so can't complain too much. We did manage to achieve both our goals of one, surviving to the end, albeit with a slight spin, and 2 from making spaces. So P7 it is for the first race of the evening. So there we go. Well, that was fun. A little bit insane at times, but good fun nonetheless. Alright. 16 laps on that particular run there. Let's just have a quick look. It's only giving me in litres, so didn't check what our fuel usage was. But anyway, good fun. Let's have a quick look back at the start, shall we, and see what happened on the racetrack. Here we go. Here we are, in the middle there. Quite a lot more cars on track at this point. Oh, we started alongside that guy who actually came back and overtook us, so... Ooh, there's the spin. And the... That's 3 gone, straight away. That was so close. I honestly thought I was going there, because that yellow car came up in my mirror and I saw him and was like, I'm heading off into the gravel right now. 3 wide down the straight. Are we even focused on us? Yeah, we are. Look at this. Almost 4 wide into Brooklands. Glad I left some room on the inside. To be fair, I know there was some carnage elsewhere, but that was a pretty clean race on our behalf. We had a good few battles going on there, and that was the massive chop. We obviously got the clear from spotter, and that was it. Straight in there. Full pack of Formula Fords herring down to Copse Corner. Oh, that's where you went off there. That's where he was recovering from, that one. Good fun. Right. Well, that was enjoyable. Let's come out of there. Let's go see what next options are. Let's just clear all those notifications there. So let's have a look at the Battle of Little Wings then. Where's the next race for that one? That will be 9:30. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll sign up for that one, and then it'll give us some time to practice. And we're going to sign up, of course, in the Formula Ford. See if anyone actually signs up in the other ones. It might just be another grid of Formula Fords, but just at Alton instead. Okay, so that's signed up for that. Let's go join the practice session. Just checking, because I was driving along there, and I felt that whenever I was lifting off the throttle, there was a really nasty squeak on my pedals. I honestly had a thought it was my pedals, but I think it's just something in the sound engine for that particular car. When you lift off the throttle, there's a squeaky sound. So playing tricks with my mind. Okay. So yeah, maybe I should map a tear off button. That's probably a good idea, isn't it? Sorry, a bit too soon to start doing donuts. Yeah, maybe celebrate a little bit early then. Just jinx myself, that's what it is. It was, not bad actually. I'm quite happy with 7th after the rubbish qualifying and then the mid-grid start. So yeah, reasonably pleased with that one. But they race quite well. I mean, if people can keep themselves away from each other, it'd be pretty good. But we had some good close dices there. I think with Silverstone, of course, is it's quite a wide circuit, being a full F1 spec Grand Prix circuit. Here at Alton Park, the track narrows considerably, so there will probably not be any 3-wide, and there'll certainly be no 4-wide action here at Alton Park. So let's see what it's going to be like here. It might be a bit more difficult for overtaking, but the Northwest Formula Ford Championship do run quite frequently here at Alton Park, and they usually are pretty good races. So key overtaking points here, obviously going to be Lodge Corner, down into the chicane at Hislops. I would be very surprised if anyone sends it into Cascades. But other than that, the only other time we're going to make up time, or make up spaces, is probably going to be if someone throws it off. Old Hall Corner's another outside chance for an overtaking manoeuvre. But you really have had to have had a really good run off Lodge Corner and then through Deer Leap over the start-finish straight, because it's not much time to get alongside a car into there, and Old Hall's a really quick corner, so you've got to commit to it and you've got to be well alongside the car to make a move stick there. Same kind of situation with Cascades, really. Definitely Lodge Corner and Hislops are the key overtaking points on the circuit for a Formula Ford, or in general, to be honest. So let's see, do we have iRacing set up for Alton Park? We'll leave that one off there, so let's go. We have Alton Park Foster Circuit. Let's try it. I know it's the shorter version of Alton Park, but let's try it and see what the gearing's like. There's already a few Formula Fords. Let's have a quick look on the entry list here. Oh, we've got some other ones. It's heavily weighted towards Formula 4, but there are some other single-seaters on here as well, in this practice session anyway, so let's hope that carries over into the race.
Give us a few clean laps to get our fuel numbers.
Okay. So I've also recently, I know I'm super late to the party on this one, but recently discovered IRFFB. So one of the things which I was never really a huge fan of in iRacing was the force feedback. I always felt it was a little bit distant. And I've since found out that part of that's down to the fact that it runs at, I think, 60 Hertz, whereas everything else tends to run more 360 Hertz. So the actual rate of the force feedback is generally lower. However, with IRFFB, I have it set, and it is running at 360 Hertz, and I have a much nicer feel through the wheel. Still trying to tinker some of the settings to my liking, but it's considerably nicer than it has been. So that's been a real game changer, really, for me, to be honest. I know that's a very strong word, which is often overused, but it has made it feel significantly better. Okay, now we have a bit more of a challenge for the Formula Ford in this form of corners. There's a lot more of them, and more variation of corners than we did at Silverstone, so let's see how this goes. Now this, of course, is not going to be a standard series in iRacing. You're not going to be able to do a full season racing against the other low-powered single-seaters. So this is purely for fun purposes on week 13. But we'll see how it goes. Into Old Hall. Dip away in the middle of the corner and then spits you out on the exit and down towards Cascades. Over the crest, brake just after the dip. Down to third. Try and pick up a late apex just to carry the speed onto the straight, down towards Island Bend. And this is a very quick corner. This is probably just going to be a dab of brakes in fourth. Throw it in. Someone's thrown dirt all over the road there. Into Shell Oil's hairpin, down to second. Use the camber, pull you round. And off towards Britain chicane. Very tricky chicane, this one. Hard on the brakes. Avoid the spinning cars, avoid the tyre stacks on the inside with my spindly little stuck out wheels, and out we go near the side in a very rough and ready kind of manner, but we're still going. Down towards Hislops and Knickerbrook, brake about 100, down to second again, miss the tyre stacks once more, thread it through the middle part, get over to the left, chuck it in for the right-hander. Nice little balance of the oversteer on the exit there, it's good fun. Up over Clay Hill we go. And then into Druids, double right-hander here, brake just on the compression at the bottom there, chuck it in. Hard on the gas once again, as it raises over the crest in the road. And then down towards my favourite corner on the circuit, which is Lodge Corner, brake about the marker board there, down to second. Track dips away and then rises and then drops away again. It's just so full on, but love it. Up over the line we go. See where our lap time sticks us. Currently P2, that's not too bad.
Car on the right. Clear.
Rounded that one up on the way down to Cascades. Oh, I'll tell you what. So, it was kind of fun to drive around Silverstone. It's so much more fun to drive around here. So much more fun to drive. So we're slipped down to P4, but then there is more time to be had through Britons here, where we can actually hook up a bit more speed, and just like that, gain about half a second through there. We have got some traffic, which could play wrongly into our hands as we come through Hislops here. Everyone's in the way. And that's that lap ruined. Come on, boys. Which way are we going? Sort yourselves out.
Car on the left. Hold your line. Stay on the right.
On the grass.
Clear. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Okay. Yeah, that was someone not quite going into Druids at the speed they should have been going in. I admit I was on the grass there, but cleanly passed, no problems. Oh, that's someone else altogether. Was it? Where did this guy come from? Oh, no, it was the same guy. Alright then. Let's just put ourselves in his shoes here a moment. Ah, okay. There was a distinct lack of throttle removal going on there, even though it was off on the grass. Just kept it in Alright then. So 44.9 the quickest, we were on a 45.7, but we were a good 0.6 up, so we could be right up there again. So let's go turn some more laps. So Funky says, expecting great things, Phil, in your backyard, no pressure. Yeah, thanks for that, Funky. Yes, very much my backyard, my local circuit. I speed off in pit lane. Alright. Pit lane, speedling. As I brake check the guy behind as well. It's going to pull off into the Foster's loop and then go back to the pit so we can clear that black flag. Right, let's go this way. There we go. Oops, I took him with me. Alright. Oops, let's go back on board with us rather than the Skippy. Right, try again, this time keeping within the pit lane speed limits. No pit lane speed limit button on the Formula Ford, so it's all controlled by my right foot, which was over exuberant last time round, so there we go. Kept it below 50 kilometers an hour. And race control is happy once again. Oops, someone's just come through Old Hall and taken the I've gone too quick into Old Hall line and had a grassy moment on the exit. Easy to do. Okay. Again, we have to build up some tyre terms. What are you doing cruising around the inside? Right. Settle ourselves back in again for the roller coaster that is Alton Park. Why zigzag outlap, someone says. I don't know, warming tyres maybe? I love that because you get it over to the left hand side there and it automatically just kind of weight shifts and then sets you up beautifully for the right hander. It's just so fun to chuck into there. There's a bit too much curb on the inside. Ooh, there's too much grass on the exit. More traffic. Not the cleanest of outlaps, I will be honest. We have a Formula V in front of us here, so we have to round him up in the exit of Old Hall. That's the Old Hall line, but less extreme.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
It definitely feels like the car has a lot more grip around here for some reason. Don't quite know why, but it just feels like through the quick stuff I can actually take more speed. Maybe it's a grippier track surface here at Alton Park. Big curve on the inside there. Big one on the inside there, and there. And there's Formula Fords everywhere. Just can't help but have a smile on my face every single time through that one. It's so good. Well, it's quite popular. 127 people registered for the race on this one, so that's good. It's the thing with iRacing, you're always going to get a race at some point with people because there's always people online. So right, let's go for a proper lap this time.
We've got good fuel data.
That's sliding through Old Hall.
Car on the right. Go left.
Ooh, hello. That compromised my line into the Cascades significantly. But we survived. That we did not survive. Thankfully, Alton Park has plenty of... Oh, hello! Oh, someone joined me. Oh, goodness. Right. So Steve says, we'll have to take my MR2 to Alton on a track day. It's my favourite track. Ah, yeah, definitely. If you're into your track daying and things, Alton Park's a really good one for that. That was close. Nearly got absolutely smashed in the side there. So Priscilla says, I'll never complain about the AI in AMS2 again. Yeah, no, it's you got to be on the lookout for everything going on around here. Hey Eddie, by the way, it looks very smooth, he says. Yeah, it is. It's... Oh, hang on, before we go out. Let's do our mapping of tear off, because we're going to need it. Where is it? Was it on drive? It's got auto tear off there. So where do I... Ah, tear off visor. That'll be the one. Let's put that on the blue button, because everything will be blue skies once we've got rid of our tear off. Something like that. Right, okay. Let's go again. Try not to speed in pit lane, don't speed in pit lane. Just reminders. Okay. We know we have a better lap time in us because we saw it on the Delta. Just didn't get to finish it off, so let's see if we can hook one together and see where it puts us in the overall timings of things. Ooh, slidey, slidey. So although I was having a nice, easy time of things essentially around here, I can still catch you out, especially this one. Just like that. Someone's off, and another one's off. Ooh, he's coming back on. Miss. Ooh, well done. I honestly thought he was going off straight past us then, but managed to keep it on the tarmac when he rejoined. Just happened it was right in front of us. So Frankie says, is there much in the way of vintage / classic content on iRacing? There is a little bit. So there's some classic single-seaters. We have a Lotus 49, a Lotus 79, and we have the old Audi 90 IMSA GTO, and the Nissan GTP as well. There's some historic NASCARs, or not historic, but classic NASCAR, so 80s spec. What else is there? I think that's probably pretty much about it in terms of historic content. Please, someone shout up if they know of another one which I've neglected to mention there. Too quick through there. But what you don't have is the classic tracks, obviously, to go along with that. You have to race them on the modern equivalents. Dodgy stuff. Yeah, there's some very dodgy stuff happening. To try and get my power down nice and early there and use the camber, but perhaps a little too early. Okay, now Phil, you're just driving far too aggressively. Let's just slow this back a bit. Okay, I think I may have slightly superheated my tyres a little bit. Let's just back off, let this other guy go.
Left side.
Cool
Clear on
things
the
off a
left.
little bit here. Right. Get things cooled off and we can go again. Yeah, Danny, you're right. It's participation is low in the classic stuff, unfortunately. And the reason behind that is it's the trouble is its own making, unfortunately, which is the safety rating and the iRacing, because no one wants to drive classic cars, which are arguably a little bit more difficult to drive, because the chances of you having an accident or a off track somewhere or another is much higher, so therefore people don't want to risk losing iRacing for the sake of perhaps driving something that they might want to drive but just can't justify losing the iRating for. So most people just tend to stay away from them and not do anything with them, which is a shame. And the 79s are a really nice car to drive. That's overslowed way too much into the hairpin there. Nearly 200 people registered for this one now. Pretty impressive. Oh, Phil, come on. Pushing too hard now.
They say you cut the corner.
Pull off this side here. Oh my goodness. Give my right foot a bit of a break. It's been welded to the throttle. It just feels like I've been pushing really, really hard on it, but okay, all good. Let's take a quick look at the results here. So obviously still on our 45.7, which is not fully representative of our quickest time. Where people now 44.2, so yeah, things are heating up at the front in terms of pace. There's the quickest of the, I guess that's the Skippies, maybe? The blue one Skippies? Where are they? Are there any on track at all? Not in this session there aren't, so what's the red one then? Any of those? Formula E's, yeah, so the blue is the Skippy, that's fine. Cool. So we've got 6 minutes until the start of the race for this one, so let's go out again. Get ourselves race ready, because there's one thing pounding around doing laps and then going off all the time and making a hash of it, but sometimes you've got to prepare to drive like you would in a race. So let's try and do some of that. So again, just wait for tyre temps to come up nicely. So Funky says, to sacrifice fun for rating is a strange inversion of logic to me. Yeah, it is. It's an odd situation, and it's the downfall of iRacing's own devise, so trying to hit too much of that curve. That unsettles you too much going into there. You want to try and be settled before you turn right there, so try not to run too far over to the left. The track's really dirty. Everyone's been pulling all sorts of dirt on when they've had their little excursions. Right. Into Life's Corner then. Car feeling reasonable. Let's see if we can pop ourselves up the leaderboard slightly. That's off track. You've got to be really neat through Old Hall. More speed I can take through there. 250 registered now. Incredible. That was a lockup purely because I missed the blip on the downshift. Well, that's race ready then, isn't it? Someone's spinning in the background. Yeah, I'm not sure that's the first thing people will be looking for in a in a person funky is oh, before I date you, what is your iRacing? No, probably not. I'm kind of thinking what I need to do in terms of handling. Is there anything that I feel that it's particularly needing? Let's change our screen color. See what it does. Oh, green screen. Ooh, very cool. What color should we have? We should probably have it something which matches the car, shouldn't we? Really. This is really crucial setup adjustments going on here, guys. So, a red dash, shall we? We'll see red. There we go. That's a good couple of tenths right there. So I think as important as it is to get some laps under our belt, it's also important to save some for the race because, again, we've still got to survive 15 minutes around here. Oops, we have someone, we just come out of the pits here. Let's get out of the way here.
Car on the left. Clear.
Yeah, so we've got 15 minutes worth of racing around here, which is guaranteed going to be a lot more full-on than Silverstone. Even though Silverstone was quite intense battling. Here we're just working harder because we have more corners. Oops. Oh well. All that charity. And he goes and throws it off at Shell always happen. It's alright. We've been there. Ooh, I honestly thought I was going to rip a corner off then. But somehow we missed the tyre stack. We must have running. So again, survival is definitely going to be a key element of this particular race. Not necessarily from the other drivers, but also from just keeping the car intact, I think, from trackside furniture such as tyre bundles, which are rather hard in iRacing. They don't have much give. When I say much, I mean any. Okay, right, race time. Let's pull over. Get ourselves into the session. Alright, well, feeling a little bit more confident going into this one. It's probably not a good thing, but feeling a little bit more tuned into the car. And now we've got that first race out of our way, but under our belt, shall we say. Feeling a little bit more confident about this one. And yeah, the circuit I think suits me a little bit better than Silverstone National. It's a good circuit. I just enjoy driving this particular track. It's just one of my all-time faves. Okay. Let's give the back a good stretch. Be all loose and relaxed rather than all uptight and tense. It's never a good way to go into a race. So, let's try and do better at qualifying this time. This time I will get an actual banker lap in, which is, you know, reasonable. And then second lap, if we get a 1x, it's not so bad. But the last qualifying session with that out breaking into the hairpin, it was not ideal. And then I threw it away on the second one. So let's try and get a reasonable one in first time up, and then if we can improve on it second time around, amazing. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Nice and easy here. Right, loading in now. Practice is on. Let's take some fuel out. So I think last time we had 5. Obviously, it's a shorter circuit, so let's do the same. Yeah, let's do the same amount of. Oops, no. What am I even doing? Yeah, same amount of fuel. We'll have 5 litres in, which should be plenty. We have got a mixture as well, so the good thing about the split system on iRacing is it does try and bring in, where it can, a good mixture of all classes which are available in the race itself. So, unless of course you're down in the lower splits, in which case you get what's left over really. So if there's not enough Skippies or Formula Vs, you may end up with just a grid full of Formula 4s, which is still a good race around here, I'm sure. But higher up, they tend to try and even them out a little bit, so you have a variety of all classes. Simon says this circuit is a lot more fun than Silverstone. Yeah, I think so. It's quite a lot more rewarding as well. There we go. Got a gaggle of cars in front of us here. What have we got? Some Formula Vs and some Skippies as well to show. Definitely dispatch these with ease. I wonder if they're going to get some lappery as well in this 15-minute race. It's possible. God, looks so good. Right, qualifying time then. Let's cross our fingers and see what happens. Let's go qualify. So this time, of course, we have a longer lap to get some temperature in our tyres as well, which will help us out a little bit, I think. Our first flying lap at Silverstone was a little bit more fragile because of the lack of tyre temp and just pure amount of track to be able to warm tyres up on. So we should be well primed and loaded, ready for our first flying lap. So here we go. Nice and easy. I'm feeling relaxed now. Don't know why I went to third, but we're good. That's how relaxed I am. I'm not even thinking about what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. At some point or another, we're going to have to zone in and concentrate a little bit. And of course, obviously, with a longer lap, the 8 minutes of qualifying allotted time is a lot less than it feels, because with a short circuit like Silverstone National, you're done with your 2 laps very quickly and then you've got time to kill. But here, you have to get on with it. Not massively so, but you do need to be aware. So we'll get out nice and early and get our laps in. God, feels so good around here. Good luck, says Brent. Thanks, Brent. Appreciate it. We'll see how we do.
Green flag, green flag.
Eventually got second gear. Missed it. Okay, come on then. Let's get a good one in first off. Took a little bit extra out of that just to make sure we didn't off track on the exit, because that's a very common thing to do. Okay. Time to relax and breathe down the straight here. Felt pretty good through there. Ah, that's off track. Okay. Well, so much for that nice and easy first lap. Now we've got to make the second one count. Qualifying so difficult in iRacing, it really is. Never mind, we'll be okay. What will be, will be. We'll work with it.
One more
Right,
lap.
come on then. Make this one count. Bit tighter in Cascades that time. Nice chunk of time gained. Okay, come on then. We can do this. It's a little dab of brakes. Locked up into the hairpin. Still salvage this though. Very close to the edge there again, but we're okay. Okay, nice green delta, what we like to see.
We're almost out of fuel. We might not make it to the end.
Okay. Okay, we're actually going to get a lap time on the board, which is good. Try for the line. Where's that going to put us?
There's the change of flag.
P3. Okay. Held back on that second lap as well. Just to make it absolutely sure we made it through there, okay. But yeah. Let's have a look and see how far we are. 44.9 there. Which is a long way off. So 43.5 for the leader. Oh, 43.8. Okay. It's fine. Let's put some fuel back in. Where is it? There it is. 16 litres in. Maybe we might need more than that. No, it won't be. No, it's fine. That'll be fine. Right, so we're kind of towards the front of the Formula Ford group. A few Formula Fords still yet to do a lap of some form or another. Whether they will or not, I don't know, but gaps behind are pretty close, only about half a second behind her. We've slipped to 4th now. Amir Khan's jumped in as well. 44.2. Okay, well, that's not too bad. I mean, yeah, considering considering what we've done so far with qualifying, it's not too bad. I'm not complaining too hard on that one. That should put us currently. I think it should put us on the inside for turn 1, but we'll see. We'll see. P3, that's brilliant, says Steve. Yeah, we unfortunately dropped to 4th now, but not bad. I'm still pleased with that. I mean, way more time on the table, obviously, but yeah, considering lack of experience with the car, I know most people won't have that much experience either, but they've probably been doing a few races throughout the evening and the rest of the week so far as well, which I haven't. So jumping into this kind of blind, I suppose, but yeah, it's all about fun, isn't it? That's what we're here for. So it doesn't really matter where we start. We'll have a race with someone. That's the good thing about iRacing. There's always someone you can have a battle with. Okay, well, everyone's finished. It's time to grid up. Just one final double check just to make sure we have fuel on board, which we do. And let's go to the grid. Yep, we are on the inside, which is handy. I'm going to get pushed off onto the grass on the outside of Old Hall, which is never a good place to be. Let's engage first gear, ready. The gearbox is firmly attached. Okay, so again, predictions for this race. Starting a bit higher up. Again, first goal is to survive. Key. Second goal, let's go for a podium. Let's go for a podium. I reckon we can do it. We weren't too far off Amir's pace in qualifying, and that's with a little bit left on the table as well. So let's see what happens in racing form, whether we can move up a little bit further. So yeah, should be fun. I do wonder whether we'll catch some of the slower cars though, because I didn't check what the lap time differences were between them, but judging by how quickly we caught and passed the ones in practice, I know it's a long lap, but there's a good chance we might catch them towards the end, and that could really play into things if we do, because then you've got to find your way through and around all the slower cars, and your opponents have got to do the same. So here we go. Lights ready to go. Sam says we only accept P1. Okay, I'll do my best. See if we can get a better start this time. Someone's already jumped it. What a demon start. That's going to play havoc right off the off. Because we're now going to have a slower car in front of us. Crunch.
Still left. Keep to the right.
Oh, get out of the way.
Right side. Clear on the right.
Okay. Not the greatest of starts, but we're up and running. Ooh. There looked like some netcode issues behind there, with car seemingly flying but then back on his wheels again. And defend into his lot, does he?
Right side. Clear.
Just size him up a little bit here. With company behind, but then there's a big gap, so this is our battle pack. Ooh, side by side for the lead. Let's see what happens here. They're going to go into Old Hall. Made it through. Oh, that's running wide there. We have a run. Ooh, we've also lost the guy behind, so we have space behind us now, which is comforting. Gives us the opportunity to attack.
Left side.
Just like that.
Clear.
That wasn't intended, it kind of just happened. He's on the grass, that's given us some breathing room as well, so now we can go for him. Okay. Never did that through practice, but did in the race. Just happens. Now we have some overtaking to do, guys. I think P1 is now out of the question. But we can have a race. Let's go for it. There's one.
Got a slow car on the right.
It's a very common place to go off at Alton Park. That's your fault, that Gareth. You called that. Didn't know it was meant for me. So now we're back in P10. Tall order to get a podium from here, but we'll give it our very best. And the V in front of us here.
Car on the right. Clear.
Yeah, that's me. Thanks, Danny. The fight back's on. We can do this. Just regroup, take a breath, and go again. We managed to get through the corner we had the issue on, so overcome that little demon. Or Van Demon, depending. This is going to be fun, says Brent. Yeah, it's a bit more fun now. Let's go. So we're still in 10th here, I believe, yep. And it's all kicking off in front. Right, we're getting back on terms with them again. Now we need to find a way to pick our way through without tripping over each other. That's the main goal now. One's helped us out a little bit there. He's going to get slowed down for that, presumably.
Car on the left. Stay on the right. Clear on the left.
Okay, one spot. We're almost off on the straight. It's the grass. Coming back at us, maybe?
Still there. Clear on the right.
That is. Alright. It's our turn to get the run. Ooh, where's he going?
Left side. Clear on the left.
It's one less.
Left side.
2 in 1 lap.
Clear on the left.
Let's make it 3.
Right side. Hold your line. Clear on the right.
Great racing. This is so fun. A bit of a run. Can we get in the inside and lodge?
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Still left. Clear on the left.
Yep, we can. Tear off, please. Thank you. A bit lighter now. Where are we back up to?
We've got a slow car on the left. Car stopped on the left. Go right.
Okay. We still survived. Tyres are now nicely up to temperature so we can really push on safely. This car is so good around here, it really is. Ooh, we've got some more carnage. It's Formula V though.
Slow car ahead. Right side.
Thankfully got out of the way, which is good. So we are getting some Laffery, as expected. Perhaps a little bit earlier than I was expecting, but
Right side. Clear. Car on the left. Clear.
oh, there's some tyre smoke behind in the mirrors there.
You're in fifth. Let's get the next one.
Okay, well, back into 5th. That's not too bad.
Right side. Clear on the right. Car on the right.
It's just passing me on the grass.
Keep to the left. Still left. Clear on the right. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
A little bit chucky through there then. Oof. And Christopher ahead of us has got some reasonable pace as well. The other class has been very kind so far. It's my own fault for trying to go in there too quick.
Car on the left. Clear.
Okay, let's see if we can get back on terms with P5 here. He's got away. Again, very nearly jinxed myself then.
Car on the left. Clear.
Wasn't quite sure whether we were going to get the move done before the corner then, but thankfully we did. Oof, definitely warmed up now. Too quick into there though. So it's 2.1 to the next guy ahead and then 11 seconds to P4, so that's how much we lost with our little error at the chicane, but
Car ahead.
we'll do what you can do. Who's this? Oh no. Now that's no longer 11 seconds, it's only 2 because he's had a moment. Now they're going to go too wide through Lodge.
White flag. One more lap to go.
One more to go, come on. Let's see if we can get close to these two guys now. It's nice through there. Right with them, but not going to be quite close enough, I don't think, but who knows. Black marker ahead. And we're coming up to a tight part of the circuit as well, so this could all come back towards us. Or not.
They say you cut the course.
I guess we're settling for 6th. Clear this slowdown before the end of the race, otherwise we'll be in trouble. Oh well, never mind. It was good though. Slightly anticlimactic end to that one, but
Clear.
it was good fun nonetheless. Across the line P6. We had a bit of a recovery drive then. We had to do some
Flag, it's over.
driving to try and earn that 6th place then, but that was good fun. Oh, there's my pedal squeaking. Okay, I have to get some spray on that, I think. Dry PTFE, just to give it a bit of extra help. Right. So Frankie says Undies tear off time as well there. I think, yeah, that was back a while ago. Yeah, some interesting moments on that. And it was good fun. Let's go back to the start, watch the start over again. Only the 9 laps. There's our jump start. It's gonna find where my spray is. I think it's down here. I might be a bit further along. Just going to give it a bit of a spray so it doesn't. It's perfect. Right. Just we'll give it a shake. I mean, some good racing in there, it really was, some close racing as well. See if that does the job. If it doesn't, then we'll have to do a proper spray on it, but it should hopefully clear it up. Oops, someone goes off in the last corner then. Right, well that was fun. Shoulders are all warm now. Right, let's go do... Let's try and jump into the Clio, because we haven't driven that yet, and we want to drive that. So, Tin Top Tussle is where it's at. Hang on, 22, no I don't, it's fine. Okay, so, next one of those. 10:15, right, okay. Register for that one. This is at the Red Bull Ring, so not exactly a track known for its Clio Cup action, and particularly well suited to a Clio Cup car. It's a very wide Grand Prix track, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes, because Clios usually provide some good racing as well. So let's jump into the practice session, get some miles under our belt, and then see how we go. So Clio Cups are popular single make championships all around the world. There's been several iterations over the years, and this is the most recent version of it. And to be honest, in my opinion, it's not my favourite looking Clio Cup car ever. I just think that it's too narrow and tall. They look ridiculous. But front wheel drive, relatively low power, and should still be fun to race door to door with other drivers. So let's see how it goes. I mean, as far as a engaging driving experience, I don't think it's going to be that around here, because it's not really geared up for these longer circuits like this. But I think once you add other cars into the mix, that's when things could potentially get a bit more fun. But yeah, got to be honest, I did really enjoy those Formula Ford races. A little bit hectic, but some really good close races and some good racing going on. So yeah, I think that was fun. I think that would be, I think once we get into the proper season, that would actually be quite a good series to do. If you didn't fancy doing GT3s or prototypes or whatever it was, the Formula Fords could be a really good option for you, because the racing is going to be tight, and yeah, I think it could be a lot of fun. It wasn't, okay, maybe we were just lucky, but it didn't seem to be overly dangerous. So some single-seater races can be quite yeah, can be quite hectic in terms of people just being all over the place and crashing into each other. But that's mostly because you get things such as the Formula 3 or the Renault 3.5s, which are slightly more powerful and then can cause some people to come a bit unstuck. Whereas I think the Formula Ford is low powered enough that it's not too much of a handful. Okay, it's got its little handling characteristics, such as sliding through corners a little bit, but it's not completely inaccessible to most people. So yeah, I think it could be a really good series to do going forward. I think it have quite a bit of participation, especially obviously this season. It's going to be quite high because it's new and everyone jumps on it and they drive it. But it'd be interesting to see if it stays one of the more regular, the more regularly driven championships on iRacing. So here we go. Then we're in the Clio. We don't have a huge amount of time before the race starts, but let's get out on track and see what we can do with this thing. This one does have a pit lane speed limiter. Okay, the beautiful mountainside of Austria in front of us, which we have plenty of time to enjoy because it takes us some time to get up the straight. Question is, will we make it the hill? Revs are dropping off. And what we do have with this car is the new brake sounds in iRacing. So you have the very squealy brakes when you first come out of the pit lane, and then when you use them a bit more and they start warming up, that squeal tends to drop away. But it also changes in terms of intensity of how hard you hit the brake pedal as well. So if I... maybe it doesn't. I thought it did. Maybe not. So, scratch that. What we did find out, though, of course, is the Clio Cup has no ABS, so you need to be careful on the brakes. But yeah, I am led to believe that... There you go, so even there it's quieter, so the... the brake noise does go away when the brakes heat up. What I am hoping is that we see an increase in cornering grip. Maybe I'm just too used to that Formula Ford, because there's not much grip. You could feel it's wobbling around as well, because it's so narrow. Okay, downhill for the final corner, down to third. Right, not driven Red Bull Ring in iRacing, so this is first time around here in this particular sim. Got a really good idea of the elevation change. 100 board, down to third. To adjust my driving style, I'm not driving it like a front-wheel drive car at the moment, so we need to do that. Yeah, Samuel says, yeah, it would make sense if they went for a shorter version of this track. Yeah, rather than the Grand Prix one, use the national circuit. It feels so slow compared to the Formula Ford. Probably should have jumped in this one first. Not to worry. So yeah, Samuel says the squeal is only there to indicate cold brakes. Yep. Let's brake a bit earlier for this downhill one. This is quite a tricky corner to get right, this one. So again, 66 drivers registered for this one. Turn. Just trying to build up the pace as we go, because I'm not overly sure of what speeds I can take some of these corners, so we'll get there eventually. Quick through there. Okay, picking up a little bit now. The indicator stalks are quite detailed. Keep those in as standard, obviously. Right. Went down to second there for the first corner, which I probably wouldn't necessarily do, but we have ended up with a better run off the corner, so I'll run with it for now. Need all the speed we can possibly muster to get up this hill. Yeah, better hairpin that one. It's just... well, it's quite relaxing actually after driving the Formula Ford. Definitely a very different style of driving. Yeah, that's a bit better through there. That was worse through there. Swings and roundabouts. Did I seriously see in the chat someone was starting to report someone in a practice session? Okay. Alright then. See what I mean about taking things seriously? Okay, well this will be an improvement. It wasn't a great lap, but it's going to be quicker. Where does that put us overall? P17. Okay, we went up one spot. Yeah, not a great run, and that's going to hurt us all the way down the straight. So anyway, have you tried the new build of iRacing? Have you given these new cars a drive? Let me know what you think in the comments as well. Curious to know your thoughts. Initial feelings with the Clio was that it was quite twitchy in the steering. I don't know whether something's changed because it's not feeling quite as twitchy now than I remember when I first drove it. So it feels quite light. It's only a small car. I do wonder what will happen if you do get a little bit happy with some of the curbs. If they got some really tall curbs, whether you might end up trying to catch a rollover. Try and be smooth with the throttle. Okay, there's an off track there. Yeah, again, running too deep into there. And then just chronic understeer. I actually wonder... Let's just pull over a second. See whether they have an actual iRacing setup or whether it's fixed or not. I don't know. Okay, let's go fixed. That might be a slightly better option potentially. Okay. And the brakes are back. Yeah, so it's quite skittish around the centre of the steering like that, so it's on the fixed setup at least, it's quite sensitive to the steering inputs. So again, we have to get used to that a little bit, but we'll get there eventually. But yeah, so touring cars in iRacing are not too badly done. Of course, we have quite a few TCR cars in iRacing, which have been quite popular over the years, running in the IMSA Pilot Championship and their own individual kind of things. But this is the first kind of, I guess, entry-level touring car that we had recently. There's the old Jetta, the old venerable Jetta, which has been around for so long. Oh, that turned in nicely through there. But yeah, so this is the first kind of, I guess, global entry-level touring car we've had in iRacing. So the Jetta was very much specific to the US, whereas the Clio Cup is, I guess, maybe a bit more European based, but they have had championships around the world as well. So here we go then. Let's go into our race setting. There we go. Do you know what I mean? It's just really, really tall. It looks really odd on track. Anyway, proof is in how well it races, so we'll give that a go now and see how we do. So, 2 qualifying sessions we've had so far. First one was, yeah, not amazing. Second one was a little bit better. Let's see if we can get 2 half-decent laps in this session. Let's try it. If we can do that, I feel that we've achieved something. We've gone forwards rather than just staying at the same level or going backwards. So let's see if we can get 2 reasonable laps in this time around. And yeah, we'll see what happens. There's also been some other changes to the control side of things, because there's now a button that you can check in the controls mapping side of things. So if you have a load cell brake pedal, like I have a hydraulic one, but here it's still using a load cell, you can click the button which says using load cell brakes, and that has really made a big difference to the actual braking feel, specifically in the likes of GT3, where it always felt a little bit weird trying to get the car slowed down, but it does feel a lot better now in that category. So yeah, it feels good. It's now just all about how much pressure you apply rather than position as much. So that's good. But yeah, so loading in then a Red Bull Ring. Now, although this circuit is actually quite a short circuit in Grand Prix standards, because of the pace that we have in the Clio, we're still going to have to get out quite early to to make this happen. So I'm going to use the fixed setup, I think. Yeah, that's probably the best way of doing it. So let's just put our fuel down. Ooh, by doing so, we have to adjust the ride height. So let's do a quick adjustment on there. I'm going to go the other way. There we go. Put a little bit extra in just in case. We'll just need to remember to reset that when we go back to the race. So here we go. This is just practice, of course. The limiter sound sounds good. As is typical, 3 minutes of practice is pointless because it's the amount of time it takes for you to get into the session and then leave the pit lane, and then the checkered flag comes out. So straight into qualifying. Okay, here we go then. Qualify. Let's do a practice start here because I feel we're going to need it. Okay, not too bad. See if we can replicate something similar in the race. See what everyone else does as well. I don't think it won't have launch control like the TCRs do, so it is going to be reliant on my clutch feeling. Fourth gear, not quite reaching the red line. Up the hill. Circuit does look nice though, doesn't it? I mean, I appreciate it. You know, a little dated perhaps in graphic department, but it does look very nice, this one. All this time just to get around to start our first flying lap. Can't go too wide on the exit there. So I get the feeling that a Clio Cup car is actually in generally quite a chuckable car. You can kind of throw it into corners, but probably not going to be the quickest way around here. So I'm going to try and stick to being as smooth as possible.
Green, 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 green.
Okay, let's go for lap number 1.
Here comes your third time lap.
That's what I said. Here we go then. Under board. Very, very cautious through turn 1. It's fine. Gives us some wiggle room for lap 2. It's a good place to put your advertising banner. You get a good chance to read it in the Clio. Oh, brilliant. But again, safe. It's all about getting some form of lap time on the board. It's first lap anyway. Right. Just kind of coaxing it around the corners just to try and keep it as steady as possible. It's close. Oh.
Then you cut the cord.
And that's ruined both laps because I'm not going to cross. Okay. The only time I properly locked the brakes up in that corner, it happens to be in qualifying, but hey ho. So we've gone backwards, guys. Let's take a look at the livery as it goes around track here. Let's go back to a lap. Go TV2 here. Oh well. So you know what I mean? It's just really narrow looking, so this looks really top heavy. I mean, the model's done nicely, isn't it? I mean, it's accurate to what it is in real life, I suppose. So here he comes, little angry bee on the brakes into turn 2, lifting the inside rear wheel. Seems to be riding really high as well. There's a big gap between the top of the wheels and the wheel arch, isn't there? Or maybe it's just mostly at the rear. Bit of rake going on, I think. Okay, so we're gonna have our work cut out for us on this one. And I'm saying that might not be too bad because if all these guys don't set lap times either, then we could be starting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th. Oh well. See what they do. I just feel like I'm driving it really slowly. It might just be adjustments from the Formula Ford, but I just felt like there's so much more available grip, which I just wasn't extracting out of the car. Obviously, I went over that level of grip here and there. Yep. What a time to run off track. Not to worry at all. So let's put our setup back on again properly so that we have that ready to go at least. It's only been 6 minutes, so it's not going to take long before qualifying is over and done with. But yeah, so what about the Clio then? So we haven't driven it too much just yet, but you know, early signs of it being, is it going to be a popular class? Possibly. We'll wait and see what the racing does, because I think that'll be a very valid side of that argument. But I think as far as the driving experience is concerned, it's not massively dynamic. I don't feel it's particularly exciting to drive. It's just a low powered front wheel drive hatchback really, so you know, it is what it is. But I think if it races well, then okay, we can overlook its blandness and just enjoy the racing. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, this circuit's probably not ideally suited to this particular car, as I said earlier on, in terms of a car versus track. It just doesn't really work together. But yeah, let's add some extra cars on track and we'll throw ourselves at turn 1 and see what happens from there. So we've got how many people in here? Yeah, quite a reasonable sized grid. Okay, now we're being dropped back a little bit. Although no, it's pushing me back up the order again. Grid 14. Okay, not the end of the world.
Thanks for the great content.
Oh, Pasonic, thanks very much. Appreciate that. Thank you for the £5. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was good fun. It's been good fun so far. We're not done yet. Let's see what we can do with the Clio. Let's make sure we have actually got enough fuel. 25 litres should be enough, surely. Stick at the 30. Who cares? We've got a rolling start in the Clio.
Next time by. Line up on the left side. Pit
All
road
right then.
closed.
Well, that makes our starting procedure a little bit easier. We are going to be on the outside in turn 1 though, so you place your bets now as to whether we get turn turtle on the outside of turn 1. And we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, starting P14 after having no qualifying lap whatsoever. Not a bad job. It's quite a sort of qualifying effort from me there. So yeah. Never mind. How many have we actually got? Over 20 cars, I think, isn't it? So should be all good. Just waiting for people to join the grid here, and then we can get ourselves going. To be fair, we can probably do the rolling start as full pace. Actually, it might just still be okay. It's just pace car just pulls off and let us go. Still get to the line at the right kind of speed. Right, come on. Where's everybody? What are we waiting for? Good luck, says Gareth. Yeah, gonna need it with this one. Oh, there goes the safety car. Are we going? We're not going? We're going.
Jet stop 8 car.
I'm trying. I'm flat out.
Jet stop 24.
I'm trying.
car.
Okay. We've caught him.
Getting ready. Going
Spotter can be
green.
happy now.
Pace car is in.
Whoa, what's going on here? What?
Green, green, green.
Okay. We're already dying. Well, that was eager to get things moving. My word. Okay. Just as well it's unofficial, huh? We managed to miss them all, that's a good thing.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Right side. 2 wide.
Oh, it's absolute carnage. So I would like to think we've gained some positions there. I also think we're going to be a little out of position in terms of our pace, so we could have an opportunity to pick up some positions here once we get our bearings. Oh, we'll just end up going further backwards because we have no grip. Yeah, we have no pace whatsoever. Wow, okay. Track and car feels so different compared to qualifying. It's like this is no grip anymore. At all.
You're in the top 10.
Woo, top 10. There's another one. Okay, well, definitely room for improvement. And we've lost the draft as well. So I have no idea what was going on the start line there. People were just all over the place and then just pushing into each other. It's so weird. Yeah, so all of a sudden now we've got oversteer on the rear.
Clear.
Where did that come from? And massive understeer as well. This car is awful.
Hold your line. Clear on the left. Car on the left.
And there's the tap. So guys, if you want to drive one of the new cars this season and you fancy doing something fun, go with the Formula Ford. Is my diagnosis so far. Because this is just a crash fest. And the car just, yeah, doesn't feel amazing to drive. Oh well. We're now back in P12 and we have no one behind us. And a massive gap in front of us, so this could be a very long 10 minutes or so of crawling around at snail's pace at Red Bull Ring. To some of you agree, yeah, so having driven the new cars as well, Formula Ford is where it's at. No, I can definitely agree with that, that statement based on what we've seen this evening. And here was me thinking at the beginning of the race that we out of position on pace. No, we're totally in the right position for pace. Just don't have any. Maybe we overfueled it a bit too much. I mean, you just can't do anything with it. It's just, yeah. Pretty dull, to be honest. Okay, let's just let off, let the black flag clear. And go again.
Car stopped on the right.
Someone stopped on the right. That might be a freebie for us, maybe. It is, and we're up to 11th. Woohoo! X. Don't care. I have to take that extra cut on the inside just to get the thing to turn in. Right. Let's wave goodbye to everyone up that way. We'll see you at the finish line. I just take a pit stop and just ask them to remove some fuel. Can you just get your syringe in there and just pull out a whole load of fuel so we might have a bit of... Oh, look! Well, that's great driving.
Slow car on the left. You've got a slow car on the left.
Just run into the back of someone in the middle of the straight. At least it means it comes back to us a little bit more. We have at least someone to look at. You can see why people are talking about reporting others in week 13. That's the way things go. Even him's just driving away from us. He's got nothing. It's an interesting line. That's another interesting line. Do you think people aren't really too bothered because it's week 13? Maybe. At this stage, I'm probably going to get passed by people who have pitted after that first lap incident. So anyway, what can we talk about? So that Formula Ford, really, really good. Kind of wish I was in it right now, actually. But yeah, I think that's definitely the shining star for me out of the new cars on iRacing. Obviously, there's a new oval car as well. There's a new late model, which is more recent. I think the oval guys have been screaming out for that for a long time, and that's finally arrived. And I believe there was some kind of mistake with the ARCA car. I think has got a modern day NASCAR engine in it by mistake, and they're actually going to leave it in there. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you like your oval stuff, there's something for you as well. But definitely out of the road car side of things, the Formula Ford is a real blast. So fun to drive. Racing's good as well. Fortunately, so far, for me, not feeling the Clio. Yeah, there's just something about it. It just feels very lifeless in the steering, in the handling. Racing is chaotic. But yeah, definitely the Formula Ford is my pick for the road cars. Hey Terje says hit the like button. Yeah, if you have hit the like button, thank you very much. And if you haven't yet and you are enjoying watching the downfall of my iRacing career here right now, please do consider hitting the like button. It'd be really very much appreciated. It'll make pootling around this little Clio for 15 minutes all the more worthwhile. So Terji says, so you like the new content, but like the free car the best? Yes, I think that's definitely my uptake of it at the moment. I would say Clio is... Sorry, the Formula Ford is my favourite of the new cars. I'm normally, quite happy with the touring cars and things. That's normally my favourite kind of category to drive, along with GTs and things, but this thing, it's just... I don't know. Either I've just not got the technique down or something, but something's just not right for me. So Daniel says the ARCA now rocks. What a muck up that was. Yeah, by the sounds of things, a lot of people are loving the ARCA car. It's another off track. Off tracks galore around here. Ooh, and someone crashing on the straight again.
Got a slow car on the right.
Oh dear. So Turgis says, I think iRacing has 2 weak FFP for street type cars. Yeah, I mean, even running IRFFB at the moment, which is improved. I hate to think what it was like in standard format. And this guy's just messing around in front of us. Look at him, just all over the place.
Slow car ahead. Go right.
I know what that was all about. So 10th place is 6 seconds ahead now, apparently. Are we making a comeback? Slowest comeback ever. No, we're not, because he's up to 7 seconds ahead already. He must have just had a spin somewhere. I mean, it's not a fault of the circuit, because I do like the circuit, it is fun. It's just... it's not one for the Clios, this one. Just, how long have we got left to endure? Oh, only 1 minute 34, that's alright. Nearly through it. Nearly through it. So Turgis says, cars with car damping like the Clio, the Toyota GR86, Solstice all feel floaty. Yeah, I found the 86 felt floaty as well. Wasn't massively impressed with that one when that one came out. A lot of people seem to like it, but hiccups. But to me, it just it doesn't feel particularly connected to the road. This is more of the same, I think. Just I don't trust that there's contact between the tyres and the tarmac. I mean, now that the fuel is burning off, it's at least turning into some corners. But yeah. I don't know. Maybe if I try it on another circuit, it might be a very different story. But
White flag. One more lap to
oh,
go.
white flag! Thank goodness. Can it not be a checkered flag? One more lap.
You're in the top 10. Good job.
Oh, excellent! I've made it to P9. Oof. Consistency and plugging away to the very end. It's paid off with a top 10. So Turgis says it helps if you have shakers on your rig. Yeah, so I drove at the Autosport show. It had a butt kicker on the rig, and it did feel very good. But that was in a GT3 car. I suppose it would probably make a difference on all cars with the feeling, but yeah, we just have zero pace with this thing. Good thing is you have time to count the corners left. We have only a few to go. Nearly didn't have that one. Okay, there's 2 more corners. Someone had a good race. Don't know. It must have been one of the ones up front somewhere, but. And 1 more to go. Here we go. Towards the line. We made it. And now the Clio can quite happily go back into the garage and sit there until I want to drive it again. Right, let's see what happened on lap 1. Great job, driver. Yeah, thanks. Patronising. Right, let's take a look at lap 1. What was going on? Look at that. We've gone from 52s down to low 51s at the end. What were the leaders doing? Just completely rub salt into the wounds here. What were they doing? 47s. Compared to our 51s. That'll explain why we had no pace whatsoever. Right, so here we go then. That probably helped our cause, made it look slightly less embarrassing by having a lot more cars taken out very early on. So let's just dissect that a little bit, shall we? Let's go back into that. Let's see who caused this little, well, minor incident on the start line here. Let's have a look. Let's go chase mode and find the individual. I have a suspicion it was this one who started it off. Came out of the final corner and gone, yep, I'm far enough back, I can just gun it. And I'm going to go this way, in the middle. And I'm going to go 3 wide. Oh, a little bit of netcode involved there as well, and that just started off a whole heap of... Oh, man. Oh, man. You got an extra... Oh, wow, okay. I think some people might not have been particularly happy with him. Oh man, that's just insane. Let's go to TV1, see if we get a better view of it all. I am quite impressed that we managed to get through that. It all just opened up for us. Some weird kind of artifacting going on the bonnets. You see that? All of them have got this. That was deliberate. Oh, that one missed. Oh goodness me! Right, okay. Well, we'll leave the Clios there. They can have their fun with the Clios all to themselves. I'm not fussed. So let's just recap here a little bit. So go down and find our little Formula Ford here. So yeah, upshot of the evening. This car is brilliant. Really good fun to drive. Bit of a driver's car. You have to kind of get behind it a little bit and just be on edge. That little bit driving it through the corners. To be quick in the car, you do have to be a little bit loose going to some of the corners, but then you have to be prepared to catch that, because sometimes it can let go and it's very difficult to recover from it. But I think the way to drive a Formula 4 car, even in real life, is to have an element of four-wheel drift going on, where you're kind of just sliding enough through the corners to be moving forward as well as sideways, and it's just, yeah, a real fine balancing act. But I feel something that if you had a bit more time and a bit more practice with it, you could probably feel that and perfect that as you go. So yeah, it's very easy car to jump into and drive straight away, but challenging car to drive particularly quickly. So yeah, lots to learn with that particular car, but it is a lot of fun regardless of what level you are when you jump into it. Which is good that it's a free car, because it means people can enjoy that for themselves. So yeah, definitely my favourite of the update. The Clio, not convinced yet. Probably might need a bit more time to try and, one, unlock some pace, and two, get used to the handling dynamics of this thing, because it's very unique. But yeah, I mean, it makes the paint job look quite nice, but so far that's the only positive I can bring out of it. Race is going to be carnage, if that one's going to be anything to judge by. I think people will be more willing to get door to door with you in this because it's a saloon car rather than a single seater, so the consequences of major damage is going to be less, which means it's probably going to be quite a dangerous series if you want to be running in there for iRacing purposes. But yeah, it's it's going to be mayhem, to be honest. But yeah, so that's our evening. So we hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed driving the Formula 4. That was some really fun racing. But thank you for your company this evening. It's been great to spend time with you, and thank you for your comments as we've gone. I hope you enjoyed watching me suffer for you on that final one there. That was not a pleasant experience with the Clio, but hey, it's all good fun, and it's been good to get back in iRacing, even though that last one was a little bit, but yeah, the overall experience is pretty good. So yeah, happy to Happy to do so. So here we go then. Let's round up. Thank you very much for your company this evening. It's been great to be with you. We will be back again very, very soon indeed. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, other than that, have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you very soon indeed. But for now, it's goodbye from me. Bye bye.